Hey nursing friends, I'm Marley from Picmonic, and I've gotten so many emails this week about something I'm sure we can all relate to, which is test-taking anxiety. As someone who gets anxious during tests, I completely get it. And what you have to remember is that it's all just a mind game. So the number one thing is to be prepared. Think about how confident you feel when you walk into the exam knowing your material versus when you're unprepared. You're just setting yourself up for failure if you go in and try to wing it. So, no cramming. Number 2. As you know by now, get a good night's sleep and eat a good breakfast. But the important thing to keep in mind is to limit your caffeine intake. And you know this one is hard, but you don't want to be too jittery during the exam. Third, take a 5-minute walk before the exam. You don't want to be around the other students' nervous energy, so go clear your head instead. Okay, let's talk about some ways to control your anxiety during the exam. Right before the test starts, I pop some gum into my mouth. Something with a strong flavor like spearmint or cinnamon. This keeps me alert, especially if I haven't had that second cup of coffee. Don't start to feel defeated if you miss a couple questions, because you can still turn it all around. If you start panicking, try some relaxation techniques. And by this I mean deep breathing. Breathing in through your nose, holding it for 5 seconds, and then slowly letting it back out. Lastly, a good trick that works for me when my anxiety is at an all-time high is to think about my toes. I know, hear me out on this one. Let's say you're struggling through the exam and all of a sudden everyone is finishing and filing out of the room. And you start to panic, wondering why you're taking so long. This is where you think about your toes and you give them a little wiggle, and all of a sudden you're brought back into the present moment and right back on track. I promise you this really works. So those are just a few strategies that have helped me reduce my test-taking anxiety. But if there's one thing that I hope you take away from this, is to be prepared. Use Picmonic to reinforce your knowledge, because the rest is just a mind game. And if you have any tips or tricks on test-taking anxiety that you think would help other students, give us a shout at feedback@picmonic.com. And until next time, good luck on your exams and let us know how you did.